Have you ever heard about locomotives so insanely heavy that you would stop and think, why would anyone even build that? Some of these things were massive beyond logic. It is like engineers just kept adding weight to see what would happen, and somehow the tracks had to deal with the consequences. Railways were hauling more freight than ever before. Coal, iron, grain, oil, lumber, anything you can imagine. And every railway company wanted the same thing: more power, more speed, more weight, more everything. Back then, the only way to move massive freight across mountains or long distances was to build locomotives big enough to tear gravity apart. Most companies believed locomotives had already reached their ideal size. They thought the limit had been found. They believed trains could not get much bigger or heavier. But a few engineers, a few bold minds, refused to accept that. They believed that the railway world was still capable of building giants. And this mindset gave birth to some of the largest and heaviest locomotives humanity has ever put on rails. Let us start with the one whose name alone makes rail fans grin like kids in a candy store: the Union Pacific Big Boy. When you look at this beast, you do not just see a locomotive, you feel it. The boiler stretches across the track like a metal horizon. Its frame looks like it was carved out of a mountain. Its wheels are so large you could mistake them for industrial machinery. And the tender behind it carries so much water and fuel that it feels like a rail-mounted reservoir. You do not stand next to a big boy, you stand beneath it. Why would anyone build a locomotive this big? What were they trying to pull? Why did a machine need to weigh more than 1,000,000 pounds? The answer takes us back to one of the toughest railway routes in America, the Wasatch Mountains. Freight trains were getting longer, heavier, and more demanding. Smaller locomotives could not handle the steep climbs. Using multiple small engines was expensive and inefficient. Engineers wanted one single machine that could conquer the mountains without complaint. And that is what gave birth to the Big Boy. A locomotive so heavy, so powerful, that it could drag huge freight loads across mountain grades as if it were pulling a casual Sunday picnic wagon. But guess what? Here is the twist. The Big Boy was not even the only heavyweight gladiator fighting for the crown. Because far across the country, another Titan was being forged: the Chesapeake and Ohio Allegheny. The Allegheny was not just heavy. It was so powerful that even the tracks trembled under it. Its firebox was enormous, its boiler was monstrous, and its tractive power was off the charts. People who witnessed it in motion described it as a moving earthquake. This locomotive did not whisper. It declared itself everywhere it went. The Allegheny was built for one purpose: to drag massive coal trains over the brutal Appalachian grades with such immense weight, intimidating presence, and chest-shaking power that it proved steam still had raw muscle left. But here is something to think about. How heavy can a steam locomotive become before it pushes steel rails to their absolute limit and starts damaging the very tracks meant to carry it? Every time engineers built a heavier locomotive, the railroads had to strengthen bridges, replace rails, reinforce curves, and sometimes redesign entire routes. Imagine creating a locomotive so massive that the earth beneath it becomes part of the engineering challenge. That is the level we are talking about. But the story of massive locomotives is not only about steam. Because while steam was flexing its muscles, another revolution was sneaking in quietly: diesel. And let me tell you something, diesel locomotives did not enter the scene politely. They arrived with confidence, savings, and efficiency in their pocket. And then came the giants. Massive double-section diesel locomotives, built for countries like Russia, where the freight loads were unbelievably heavy. These locomotives were not sleek, artistic, or elegant like their steam predecessors. They were boxy, tough, and blunt. They looked like giant metal containers with engines inside. But their strength was unreal. Here is the shocking part. Some of these diesel brutes weighed almost as much as the great steam giants and could haul even heavier loads continuously without complaining. This led to a question that still sparks debates today. Who truly deserves the title of the heaviest locomotive ever built? Is it the Big Boy? Is it the Allegheny? Is it one of these monstrous multi-section diesel units? And that is the beauty of this whole topic. Because with different locomotives holding different records, whether it is the heaviest single frame, the heaviest with tenders, the heaviest diesel pairs, the most power, or the highest tractive effort? There is no single winner, just a battlefield of legends that brings us back to the true heart of our story. The sheer feeling of scale when you stand next to one of these machines. When you walk close to a big boy, the boiler alone looks like a steel wall. You can smell the iron. You can feel the heat if it is under steam. You hear the pressure inside, almost like the breathing of a sleeping giant. One whistle from it can shake your spine. When you see the Allegheny, you feel like you have entered a territory of pure engineering aggression. The pipes run across its body like bulging veins. The wheels look like steel suns. The firebox is large enough to roast an entire forest. And the cab feels like a cockpit inside a battleship. And you might wonder, how did crews manage these beasts? How did drivers control so much weight, so much pressure, so much raw force? What did it feel like to push 1,000,000 pounds of locomotive and freight up a mountain? The answer is simple: courage, skill, and complete faith in engineering. These machines demanded absolute respect, because one mistake or oversight could be severe, with steam requiring constant attention as every gauge was watched, every valve adjusted, the fireman feeding coal in rhythm with the locomotive's heartbeat, the driver feeling the rails through the throttle, and both knowing you could not be lazy or careless. You had to become one with the machine. Now let us talk about something that often gets overlooked: the tenders. Oh yes, the tenders. Most people see them as just water and coal carriers. But tenders often weighed almost as much as the locomotive itself. And together, the locomotive and tender reached unbelievable numbers. Sometimes over 1,000,000 pounds of rolling steel. Here is something interesting, because some railroads proudly advertise their locomotives as the heaviest, while quietly excluding the tender weight just to win the argument. A little trick fueled by pride and rivalry. You know how humans are. But regardless of who claimed the crown, one truth remains unchanged. These were machines built during one of the greatest eras of railway engineering. A time when size was not just a number, it was a statement. Now, let us zoom in on engineering for a moment. Why were these locomotives so heavy? What demanded such massive frames and boilers and tenders? More weight meant more traction, and the heavier the engine was, the better it could grip the rails and pull massive trains without slipping. Which is why bigger boilers made more steam, larger fireboxes produced more heat, and extra wheels spread the load so the track would not crack, because every part had a purpose and nothing was random. But even with all that engineering muscle, these giants did not last forever. Since technology changed, diesels became cheaper and easier. Electrics took over in some regions, and slowly the giants fell silent, with many scrapped or abandoned and breaking the hearts of the people who loved them. Still, a few survived, and when you see one move even once, you instantly understand the scale, the courage, the ambition, the madness, the beauty, the sound, and the soul behind them. Because locomotives like the Big Boy and the Allegheny were never just machines. They were full-blown experiences written in fire and steel. Now, do you think engineers today could build something even heavier and more powerful? Or did steam and early diesel already give us the true peak of giant locomotive design? Some say yes, some say no, and some point to track limits as the deal breaker, which is why many believe these giants represent a beautiful era we cannot repeat. But what is certain is that the largest locomotives ever built still fascinate us because they show what happens when humans choose to challenge limits instead of accept them, proving that the boldest creations are not always made for glory but for purpose, pulling the weight of nations and becoming legends the moment they touch the rails, hauling not just freight but stories, dreams, and the imagination of generations. So stick around if you want more, because the railway world is still packed with legends waiting their turn. And maybe the next one I tell you will be even larger than the giants you heard about today.